Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing a SteelSeries Apex 310 keyless keyboard. I was kind of looking for keyboards that are under the $50 range that are very budget appropriate, and I just decided to go down to the store and buy every single one that I could find. I got one from SteelSeries, one from Corsair, and one from Razer. In today's video I'm going to be doing the SteelSeries, and without further ado, let me open this up and see what it's got. Now with these keyboards, I always try to be very careful whenever I try to open them. Mostly because I usually return these and the people down at the store know that I do this, but as long as I'm very careful with opening and I don't rip anything up, they're usually very acceptant for any returns or anything that I do. So with mecha membrane keyboards, I'm not exactly expecting much. But considering that it's $50, that's kind of the territory that you're going to be in. What the mecha membrane means is for a regular keyboard switch, for a mechanical keyboard, it's a physical press. I should have a hot swappable switch. Let me go grab it. With a mechanical keyboard, normally you would have an actual physical press, and each button or key would be very individual with how these are all set. And I'll show you once I take this out. I'll try to get some camera on it and try to show you what the difference is with a mecha membrane keyboard. Now, if I'm being completely honest with you, when I initially saw this and felt it, it looked a lot cheaper than it feels. This actually feels pretty good. These switches on the back are nice and thick. And it looks like, at least to some degree, rather than using like a hard brittle plastic, they use kind of like a hard rubber or some substance. Let me get the camera on it. So they went and they used, let's see, where are you aiming? There we go. It's kind of like a hard rubber on it, which is kind of nice. I kind of actually really like that. Because usually when it comes to these cheap keyboards, that's the first part to break. Every single time. At least for me it is. I've never broken any other piece on one of these cheap keyboards. It's always one of those legs. And having something that looks at least a lot more robust for plastic, that seems pretty good. Another thing that I really like with this keyboard is it has these channels that are on the bottom. And what's nice about these channels is you set it to the left or the right, and a lot of people have things in front of their keyboard, especially because if you're going to be buying budget keyboards, usually you have the budget keyboard and the budget desk and the budget mouse, and everything seems to be very short this way, right? So having something you can just kind of move over to have, because you'll have some other cable or some other thing, probably maybe not this side but definitely this side. It's kind of nice, you know, you could just want to put your phone on here without it sitting on the cable. So for smaller desk setups, it's better than what you think. For this keyboard, it does seem to have its own media control. I'm not sure what this button does, but we'll get into that later. With it being mecha membrane, none of these switches actually pull off. They're kind of physically attached to the board. And then as far as these are shine through, so as far as LEDs, it should have the LED for the actual keyboard shined through the caps. So aesthetically, that should be a plus. For a cheap keyboard, especially one that's more along gaming keyboards like this one. It's really nice to have shine through keycaps because it gets dark and you can't see anything. My keyboard that I have that I use personally, it's nice, it's expensive, it's got all sorts of nice stuff. But as soon as let's see, you should be on. As soon as I turn on all the lights, this is all great when it's super bright out, but as soon as it gets dark, I can't see any of these letters. Granted, I usually have a lamp on at my desk, but if I'm ever playing in a dark situation where you can't really see as well, you can't see these at all. So if you can't just go to home row and type normally like fast, like you actually use computers all the time and you're one of those touch typers, make sure you get a keyboard with shine through keycaps, or else you're not going to be able to see it. As far as typing, I don't know how loud it's picking up on the microphone, but it's very quiet actually, which makes sense because it does say that it has whisper quiet gaming switches. Let's see. What else does this say? IP32 water and dust resistance, gaming grade anti-ghosting, yada yada. The anti-ghosting is kind of a gimmick. Most mecha membrane keyboards have problems with ghosting. And it'll say anti-ghosting. It just means it's better at not ghosting than a regular membrane or mecha membrane would have. How do I say? If you play a lot of like FPS games like CS:GO, and let's say you are moving around with the WASD and you press the grenade and then your grenade doesn't go off, there's a good chance that is because of ghosting. But then again, it's more hearsay than anything else. I'm gonna plug this in. All right, here we go. Let's see, red. That's not red. That's a little that's a little confusing. Um, illumination. Does it drag like the others? It does. Um, color shift. Let's go to steady. I always like that lava orange. Multicolor breathe. I'm not gonna lie. This does not look very good in the app side. I like the keyboard a lot. And most of the time I just run solid colors anyways, so it's not terrible. What is this? Oh, you can make it pulse colors. I like black and white, so a little boring, but I'm gonna set it there while I go through the other settings here. And I closed it. All right, let's go here. You can go to key bindings. You can individually set key binds pretty easily. It's still it's very confusing and very old looking. This is kind of an app design I would expect out of the 2000s. Oh, I have to launch another screen. All right. That is... This looks like a health orb from like a game from the late 1990s. All right. I mean, it works. Keyboard region. This is... Okay, hear me out. Maybe Prism? Maybe that's an app that's nice? That looks better? Ooh. I don't know why it didn't just tell me to do this at the start. SteelSeries Pride. Oh, yeah, it does the wave thing back and forth. I actually really like this setting. This is a setting I use all the time. I don't like. Oh no, yeah, here we go. Okay, that's easier. That's easier. What is this? Okay, so you can do cool things in here. I don't like that it was hard to find. I like this. This is a good color. What is this even supposed to be? Whatever. Radioactive glow. I like black and green. It makes me feel gross. Hackers use black and green of this color, and it makes me feel like a caveman eating pizza with zits all over my face and a complete lack of understanding of women, which is too close to the truth for me to be comfortable using it. I did notice that when you have that screen open, you can't click on anything else on your computer with with my with your mouse. This isn't even a SteelSeries mouse. I don't understand why the application is robbing my mouse of being able to be used anywhere. I could kind of understand the keyboard. Multimedia. It's on another monitor, but it's working. What does this do? Okay. Does the box say what the button does? Let's see. I might have to read that manual. Oh, it's a multimedia button.
Do you know what this ability is?
Right. I play League of Legends. Forgive the video. Does the button work? It does. Can I double tap it? No. It's just pause and play. That's kind of the only thing I need. I wish it had a music skip button. Now that we've gone and reviewed the keyboard, I'd give it a solid probably 7 out of 10 for its price bracket. I like that it's really rigid. It's got thick plastic, not thin plastic. It's got the rubber feet. Even though it's mecha membrane, this looks nice and ghosted because it's clear. It's, it's definitely like a rubber or like a soft film because it is mecha membrane, but I do like the look of the LEDs through it. Let's see. The multimedia is definitely a plus. The button's really weird, but I do understand they had to save money, and I have kind of an expectation that the other ones are definitely going to have better app support. The Corsair's definitely going to have better app support. The Razor's definitely going to have better app support. This one might be built better though, and I think that's an important thing to kind of consider here. Is it doesn't matter how nice it looks when it's broken. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I'm definitely going to go back to back and probably sit here and do these other two, so keep a watch out for those videos as well. If you did like the video, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe. I'm definitely going to do more keyboards, more mice, and if there's anything that you saw wrong with this video, or any type of video formats you would like me to kind of review and do in the future, just go ahead and comment in the description and just let me know. I'm pretty open to all sorts of ideas. This is kind of turning into a fun weekend thing for me. So, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you later.